Let's get into some things, child. We got some stuff to talk about today, honey. We got some stuff to talk about. Hit that like button. If you are new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We have a great time over here. You meant what you said when you said it. Really be expected, because I'll be understanding y'all sometimes. And when y'all know when I say y'all, you know I ain't talking about y'all. I'm talking about y'all. Convince me that all these people that got something to say have been actively involved in the political process in their world. I don't believe it. You ain't gonna convince me. I know y'all love me. What's up, everybody? Happy Thursday. Happy Friday Eve, baby. We are almost there. Baby, Friday can't get here fast enough for me. I am over it. I am so over it, y'all. I need this break next week so bad, so I can carry myself over the finish line into this summer vacation, honey. Everything and everybody is getting on my nerves right now. But those of you that talk to me on the phone outside of YouTube, y'all know, baby, it's just everything and everybody. But we gonna make it. Lord willing, we gonna make it. Let me say, look at Mims. I ain't been here this early before. Oh, well, welcome. welcome. This is restaurant here called Carolina Kitchen. Is like a soul food restaurant. Whenever you come in, they say, welcome. That's how they greet you when you come in. What's up, DB? Hey, Benji. What's up, Nay? The Informed, lovely Nola. Mims. What's up, Queen Tracy? Carmen. What's going on? Hey, Miss Cookie Felicia. T Goody. Hey, boo. I saw you. Listen, I got your receipt, honey. I saw you threw a little something on that cruise, honey. I saw it. Hey, Brandon. What's going on? Hey, Makia. All right, that's it. That's all I see. Hey, Bama girl. If I missed you, charge it to my head, not my heart. I don't see nobody else. So let's get into it, honey. We're gonna get into it. What's up, cuz? I ain't seen you in a minute. I need to call you too. I need to call you about a fishing trip. I don't know if my mom called you or not. They want to take a fishing trip. We need to call you, see if you can get in touch with your people. I'll give you a call when I get off of here. I think June the 26th. I think so. I'll call you when I get off of here. Anyway, what's going on, you guys? So let's get into it. I don't have a lot to get into, but let's get into some mess. Let's go ahead and get into some mess, honey. Every time I pick up my phone, I swear I see something. Oh, shoot. I knew what I meant to put in the title. Dang it. I might have to change the title because I done forgot to say some stuff that I wanted to say in the title. All right. I'm going to just go ahead and jump right on in. So we had some bad news. Don't let me forget Funky Dineva because I don't want to talk about it yet. But y'all don't let me forget Funky Dineva. We had some bad news for HBCUs. It seems as though St. Augustine's University has just filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy and has lost its accreditation. Now, we know that colleges and their credit, I mean, if there's no accreditation, your degree means nothing. If you don't have an accreditation, your degree is worthless. It just means nothing. It's as, you just wasted, so I feel sorry for the students who are enrolled. I'm not sure when that goes into effect. Hold on, let me see. Hold on, let me see. Because, I mean, graduation is in like 2 weeks. All right, let me see here. All right, St. Augustine's historic HBCU in Raleigh, North Carolina, filed for Chapter 11 on April the 27th of 2026 Amid mounting financial debt and the loss of its accreditation, the university owes $50 to $100 million to creditors, including over $14 million to the IRS. While the university plans to remain open, it will lose its accreditation on May the 15th. Okay, so graduating seniors will have a valid degree, but anybody under, if you're not graduating by May 15th, you're in trouble. Forcing the current students to transfer or to utilize teach-out agreements. I don't know what a teach-out agreement is. Let's ask. What is a teach-out agreement? Because I don't even know what that is. I've never heard that term before. What is a... Oh, shoot. What is a teach-out agreement? Let's ask the Google machine. A teach-out agreement is a formal contract between educational institutions that allows students to complete their studies at a partner school. Okay. So if students at St. Augustine's, if they have a consortium, then they can get an agreement where they can transfer and their degrees will still be valid. I'm sure for a lot of juniors or people that would have graduated over the summer, they may be able to get those type of agreements. Is y'all still doing the panel on Chasing Atlanta? Yeah, we're going to do it. As a matter of fact, thank you for saying that. Because me and El Teddy talked earlier today. Let me ask Abby. Yeah, we're going to do the reunion. I don't know when. We're talking about doing it tomorrow, so I'm not sure. Hold on. Thanks for saying that, because now that reminded me I had to send that text message to Abby. So I hate it. I hate it for the students at St. Augustine's. I'm sure they knew that there were money problems. I'm sure having dealt with that with Bennett College and going through us almost losing. Well, we didn't lose our accreditation, but we were getting ready to lose our accreditation, and we were able to get accreditation from another institute before we actually fully lost everything. Anyway, it was a tricky thing. It was a lot of maneuvering. It was a scary time as an alumni, and I'm sure for the students who were already there, it was a scary time for them. But there were definitely signs that things were happening, and I'm sure to be that much in debt, I'm sure there was a lot going on campus that just probably didn't make it to mainstream news. So, what's up, JP? Hey. So I hate that for them. I hate that for the students. And like I said, for the alumni, I know my mom's former pastor, he's passed away now, but he was a graduate of St. Augustine, and they've been having money, they've been having leadership and money issues for a very long time. Unfortunately, like a lot of HBCUs, unfortunately. So that's sad news. I'm sorry to hear it. Oh, okay. I see your text. Okay. Thank you. Got you. Okay. I saw your text. Cheney, the first HBCU, almost lost his accreditation while I was there. Yeah, I remember that too, Nay. I remember y'all were having issues as well. Yeah. It's unfortunate. It's definitely unfortunate. And, I'm hoping that speaking of, let's get into South Carolina State then. Let's go ahead. We're going to talk about, let's get into it. So South Carolina State, for those who don't know, we're going to talk about this on the Teacher Project 2.0, which I don't want to go too deep because I think we're definitely going to talk about this on the Teacher Project 2.0. And we're doing one tomorrow. The governor of South Carolina was actually invited, Pamela Everett, was actually invited to speak at graduation, and the students were like, hell to the nah, to the nah, to the nah of the nah. And they actually had a protest on campus, and even, and I, again, I appreciate that. Like, this is what democracy looks like, right? This is what you have a right to protest, and the students is their graduation, right? And as a result, the governor was disinvited. The president disinvited. Now, what I hate is that the governor decided to do a damn press conference and talk about how President Trump and this administration has done more for HBCUs than any other administration. Y'all. I get so sick of hearing the more than just, oh, I'm so sick of it. I'm just so sick of it. I'm so sick of it. But anyway, unfortunately, so that's a good story and a bad story about HBCU. So congratulations to the students of South Carolina State that said we don't want her here, and they stood by it. I'm sorry, she's the lieutenant governor. I'm sorry, the lieutenant governor. The lieutenant governor. No, they haven't. What you saying, DB? No, who hasn't? She didn't have the decency to comb her hair before spreading that lie. Oh, child. Well, we all are sick of him. Well, I'm sick of him. I'm from Orangeburg, and they should have known better. Well, you know. The Orange Man. Oh yeah, definitely. Him claiming he's done more. Right. Lies. Using lies as alibis. Yes, just lies. I can't stand his voice. I mute the TV, child. Now, I have a question. I came across this case, and I'm gonna bring it to y'all. And I'm gonna even do a poll. I'm gonna do a poll before I even start telling this story. I'm gonna do a poll because I want to know y'all's opinion. Okay, let's do this poll. The question is, who is to blame? And hopefully y'all will understand the question that I'm asking. Because ultimately the person who stole is the person who's responsible. But hopefully y'all will understand what I mean. So let me read y'all this story, child. But this employee down to the chicken filler. Let me read y'all this story. A Chick-fil-A worker busted for criminal activity in $80,000 mac and cheese fraud, the police say. Keyshawn Jones allegedly ordered the comfort food and then immediately refunded the money to his credit cards. A former Chick-fil-A worker in Texas is accused of trying to rake in the cheddar, baby. All of these puns are cracking me up. By ringing up $800 worth of orders, 800 orders of macaroni and cheese, and then refunding them to his personal credit cards. Keyshawn, who's 23 years old, has allegedly evaded multiple arrest times before finally being apprehended on April the 17th with assistance from the Attorney General Fugitive Task Force in Fort Worth. Jones has been charged with property theft, money laundering, and evading arrest. He is currently being held, blah, blah, blah. Detectives were alerted about the alleged theft on November the 29th by the owner of the franchise, who directed them to CCTV footage that showed a man using a cash register to order $80,000 of the comfort food, according to the Torrance County court records. The franchise owner identified the man as Jones and told police his direct deposit had been set up through Navy Federal Credit Union before he had been fired on October, the records show. This the question I have. Now, ultimately, we know who's to blame. I put up a poll and it says, who is to blame for the theft? Is it Chick-fil-A or is it the employee? Now, here's the thing. I know ultimately the person who stole is to blame. But my question is, How in the entire hell do you get away with ordering macaroni and cheese 800 times, returning it onto your personal credit card, and get to walk out the door? How long was this man? Like, did this happen over a week? Did this happen over 2 or 3 weeks? How do you? There was nothing in place. There was no alert system. There was nothing that would show. I mean, 800 orders of macaroni and cheese, and then it was all returned. I'm sorry, what? I read that article and I was like, I'm sorry, what? How do you stand at a register and order macaroni and cheese 800 times? And nobody caught it. And then you returning it to the same, because he's 23 years old. I mean, I don't know how many credit cards he has, but he's 23 years old. So you're returning it to the same 3 or 4 credit cards. Sir. I read that and I was just confused. I said, how does this happen? Somebody knew that boy was stealing that macaroni and cheese. I'm sorry. Somebody knew. Somebody got a piece of that pie. Now, clearly the person who called the police wasn't getting a piece of the pie, but somebody was getting a piece of that pie. I don't know who it was, though, but somebody was. And again, the poll is just a joke, y'all. I know that ultimately the person stealing is the person responsible. But I read that article and I said, I'm looking at Chick-fil-A because I'm trying to figure out how the hell he got away with doing it. I'm just trying to figure it out. Anyway, child. Let's get into this. I bet another coworker was involved. This was definitely somebody else knew something. Somebody else knew something. Like, this is not something you just. And who thought of that? And then you got greedy. 800 times. See, you got greedy, sir. You got greedy. 800 times? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You deserve to go to jail. I mean, I know you're only 23, so hopefully you can plead it out and, pay some restitution and, you be okay. Now, here go another story that my opinion is probably going to be off the beaten path a little bit. My opinion is going to probably be a little bit off the beaten path, okay? But let me read y'all this lawsuit. And I was going to read this to y'all the other day, but child, we're going to stop the poll. The poll was just a joke. Don't nobody leave no comments don't nobody put nothing in my comment section talking about something really big. Oh my gosh. You're defending a thief. Girl, we playing. We playing over here. It's just jokes. It's just jokes. But let's read this lawsuit. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Desean Jackson and this lawsuit that with Desean Jackson is being sued. So let me read this to y'all. If y'all don't know who Desean Jackson is, he's a former NFL player. He's played for the Eagles. He played for the Commanders. And last year was his first year as head coach of Delaware State University. And we talked about that. We talked about him and Michael Vick same time. They had this big game where they actually played each other this year, and it was on national television, and it was a huge draw for both schools. And I believe they're going to do it again this year. Well, the lawsuit was filed earlier this month. And I'm going to just read you guys the overview. I'm not going to read. I don't have the whole lawsuit. We're just going to read the overview. As of April the 26th, former NFL star and current Delaware State head coach Desean Jackson is named in a lawsuit regarding an alleged 2025 locker room assault. Former player Malachi Biggs alleges a violent culture led to him being choked unconscious by a teammate suffering serious injuries. Jackson has denied the allegations. So let me read you guys what's going on. The incident, the former Delaware State defensive back Malachi Biggs claims he was attacked by a teammate, Anthony Herbert, on November the 19th of 2025 in the locker room, resulting in unconsciousness and severe dental damage. The lawsuit alleges that his assistant coach Travis Clark and director of football operations Jane Hicks fostered a toxic tough guy culture that permeated violence, bullying, and the use of gang-related language. Now, I don't even know what you mean when you say gang-related language, but okay. The suit names Delaware State University, Desean Jackson, Travis Clark, Jane Hicks, and Anthony Herbert. Okay, so let's read the information from the lawsuit. So hold on. According to the complaint, Malachi alleges that he was attacked by ex-teammate in the team's locker room on November the 19th. Biggs claims the assault knocked out at least a dozen teeth and left him unconscious. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to read the article. Well, why I can't find the article? Hold on. I have it in my phone. If I can't find it, I'll have it in my phone. Let me read y'all what it says. My bad, y'all. Never mind. Let me see. Never mind. Hold on. I have it in my phone. I just go look at it in my phone. I thought I had it right here. Lord have mercy. Did I delete it? Hold on, y'all. Because the reason why I want to read I want to read it what it says because I want y'all to hear. Because I'm gonna tell you what it sounds like to me, but I want to read it to y'all. I want y'all's opinion. Hold on, I got it in here somewhere. Here it is, right here. All right, I knew I had it in my phone. Sorry about that, y'all. I knew I had it in my phone. So let me read y'all what it says here. Okay, so it says that according to the lawsuit, Malachi says that he said that a teammate reportedly became aggressive over a social media post. So the person that he's suing, what I say his name was Andre, I don't know, became aggressive over a social media post, initially confronting another player before the situation escalated. Biggs claims that the teammate then turned on him, placing him in a chokehold that caused him to lose consciousness. The lawsuit alleges that he was dropped face first onto the ground, resulting in multiple jaw fractures, dental damage, and facial injuries that required surgery. The complaint goes beyond the alleged assault, accusing the program of failing to properly supervise players and allowing what Biggs described as a toxic locker room environment. He also claims the player accused of the attack was not disciplined and continued to participate in games shortly after the incident. As a result of his injuries, Biggs says that he has not returned to the university and is seeking damages for medical expenses, pain and suffering, and lost future earnings, putting a spotlight on accountability within college football programs. Now, for his part, Desean Jackson has released a statement, and this is what he said. He said, I take the safety, well-being, and development of every student athlete in the Delaware State University football program seriously. I have never fostered or encouraged hazing, bullying, or any violent environment, and that has never been the culture I have worked to build. Because this matter is the subject of pending litigation, I will not comment further. My focus has always been on creating a positive, respectful place for student athletes to train, compete, grow, and pursue their college dreams. Y'all want to know what I think? I'm going to tell you how this went down. Based on the way I read this, and y'all feel free to say, really be that some bullshit. Y'all have my permission. Y'all have my permission to say, really be, don't do that. That is some bullshit. You have my permission. But let me tell y'all what I think happened. This is what I think happened. What the other boy name? Hold on. Let me get his name right. What's the other young man that's involved in this name? Hold on. Because it was Malachi and the boy that choked him out. What's his name? Oh, shoot. Where I put it? I don't know. I think his name was Andre. We're just going to make it up. We're just going to call him Andre. It don't even matter. Somebody posted something on social media about Andre that he didn't like. I don't know if they talked about his mama. I don't know if they said he can't play. He can't catch the ball. I don't know if they said he need to be put off the team. I don't know if they said that, his girlfriend is a hoe. I don't know what had happened. But somebody posted something down to the Instagram, the TikTok, the Twitter that pissed him off. And he came up in that locker room hot. He came up in that locker room mad as hell. And the person that he thought did it, that's who he went to first. He said, yo, bruh, why you post that shit about my girl? Why you say my girl was a hoe? And the dude that he approached was like, I ain't saying nothing about your girl. I didn't say your girl was no hoe. Malachi said that shit. That was Malachi that posted it. So then Andre turned on Malachi and was like, so you call my girl a hoe? And then from there, Andre proceeded to beat Malachi ass. And then when he probably was choking him. He probably had him like this. And the people was like, let him go. Nah, man, don't do that. It ain't worth it. Let him go. And then Andre dropped you, and he dropped you, and you fell on your face because you probably were unconscious. And then then Andre rolled out. And then ain't nobody say nothing because y'all know that's what y'all do. Y'all know that's what kids do. These are young adults / children that they're in college, but they're also young adults / children. You say that he wasn't disciplined. Probably ain't nobody even say nothing. You say that they didn't properly supervise. What coaches are just hanging out in the locker room in a college locker room? The coaches weren't even probably nowhere around, and nobody said nothing. Now, eventually, the coaches probably did find out what happened. Obviously, you left school, your face was fucked up. I'm sure somebody told them what happened. It must have been some blood on the floor. I'm sure they eventually found out what happened. But what it sounded to me is, it just sounded like it was a fight amongst men and you lost. That's what it sounded like to me. You said that he came in the locker room and he approached somebody about something on social media, and then he turned to you. He didn't turn to you for no reason. Everybody in the locker room, and he just decided to come for Malachi. Everybody else was in the locker room, and Malachi was the one that got his ass beat. Because Malachi put some shit on Instagram. Now, did it warrant what happened to Malachi? I don't know. Because I don't know what Malachi said. But it sounded like it was two men fighting and you just got your ass beat. I'm not saying that makes it okay that your teeth got knocked out, Malachi. I'm not saying it's okay that you have fractures. And I'm not saying that it's okay. But what I'm saying is that's what it sounds like. And you'd have found this lawsuit against the whole football program because you probably called somebody mama a hoe on Instagram. I'm just saying. That's what it sounded like happened to me. I'm just saying, Malachi. Now, I don't know that to be true. Y'all agree? Okay, some of y'all agree with me. Some of y'all agree because I don't know that to be true. But when I read that article, and I read again, this is about a week old that I read this last week sometime. I just kept forgetting to talk about it. That's what I thought. I said, oh, this sounds like y'all was fighting over something somebody put over on the Instagram. See, y'all let that I keep telling y'all, social media in the school, the shit that we deal with that starts on social media and they bring it into the building. And I'm talking about high school students. I can only imagine college kids. The shit that starts on social media that they bring into the school that we got to deal with, baby. All kinds of stuff be going down on the DM. They say go down in the DMs. It be going down in the DMs. You hear me? Down in the DM. It goes down in the DMs. It goes down. Really be the defense attorney with a therapist flair. I agree. I can't just see something happening like that unless it was something leading up to the class. Yeah. Tracy said the bar is open. We have a hibiscus lemon drop highball, a toffee espresso martini. Okay, a blood orange Negroni. I've never even heard of that before. And for the non-drinkers, we have a plum and apricot spritz. The popcorn machine is on. Plum and apricot, that sounds like an interesting twist. Now, because I don't want necessarily the non-alcoholic version, can you give me a little shot of something in that, something clear? And I don't even really do clear liquor that much, but go on and give me a shot. Give me that apricot lemon spritz. And can you throw me a little shot of something clear in there and slide that on down the bar? I appreciate you. Mm-hmm. So no one thought to break the fight up or not to let them fight in the gym. Folks normally break that stuff up. Well, it sounded like they were in the locker room, and it sounded like they did break it up. But I think when they broke it, I'm not even being funny right now. I think probably the boy probably had him, the way it sounds, he had the boy against the wall because he said he was choking him. So it sounded like he probably had him up against the wall, and they probably pulled the guy off of him. And when they pulled the guy off of him, they may or may not realize that he was unconscious to the point where he couldn't catch himself. Y'all understand what I'm saying? And I'm not even being funny. I'm really not being funny. He probably, again, when they let him go, he fell on his face. I'm gonna tell y'all something. And anybody that has ever broken up, you know what? Yeah, throw some honey jack in there. Yeah, Tracy. Yeah, that'll add a little to it. That'll put a little to it. But let me tell y'all something. When you are breaking up a fight, it is hard sometimes to navigate all of the moving parts. And if they had him, if the boy had Malachi against the wall and was doing like this, they were probably pulling that boy from behind. There probably wasn't anybody standing next to Malachi. Yeah, did y'all understand how I'm envisioning this? And they probably pulled him off of Malachi, and the boy fell. And he fell face first. That's what it sounds like. He fell face first. And again, do I think that the coaches probably knew something went down? Yeah, the coaches probably knew something. I mean, from the way that was described, somebody knew something. But again, to say, like, the way I read that is like you trying to make it seem like they had a fight club going on in there or something. Like two young adults fighting is two young adults fighting. Now, I would be interested to hear the school's response. Was an incident report written? When were the coaching staff notified? What did they do when they were notified? Did they call the ambulance? Malachi, when you left, what happened? Did you tell people what happened, or did you just leave? Like, there are a lot of things missing from that story. You know, there's a lot of information missing from that story. You know, driving home from Amazon in Chester, Virginia. All right, be safe on them roads, Marcus. Hey, boo. I understand someone because a Facebook shouldn't mean that folk not have teeth. Oh, right, listen, Kim. Here's my issue. I don't even have an issue. Let me rewind. I don't have an issue. So let me rewind that. But here's my question. I feel like we have just become. Let me say this. Let me reserve, because I don't know what I believe what I think happened, right? I don't know what actually happened. I mean, we know what Malachi said. But based on what Malachi said, I want more information, because I really don't want to say, because I don't want to make it sound like I'm being callous and stuff, because I agree. People losing their teeth, people having fractures, people having to have surgery, like, that is extreme. That is very extreme. So I agree 100%. That's a lot. That is a lot, and that is extreme. I got that part. But the flip side of that is, Depending on what was said. I'm not saying that words justify a fight. But what I'm saying is, if Malachi was being reckless on social media and he was confronted and a fight happened and he just got his ass beat, he's making it seem like there was a fight club mentality fostered. If he was suing the person that beat his ass, that's one thing. That's one thing. But you trying to make it seem like they just created this whole fight club mentality and they fostered, he said they fostered gang language. What the fuck is gang language? What does that even mean? So I would like to hear the response and what they present as their proof. Because honestly, sometimes you pick a fight and you get your ass beat, you just get your ass beat. I'm sorry. And I know that's probably a fucked up thing to say. People be like, damn, that's messed up. Okay, well, that's messed up. But if you was down on social media saying reckless shit and that man confronted you when you got your ass beat, you got your ass beat. But to blame the whole football program off of some social media shit that turned into a fight, that's where I have questions. And that doesn't mean it's not true. It could be true. I just feel like I need some more information. Well, locker rooms do be like that where folks fight, the egg stuff on. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. This happened, according to the lawsuit, this happened in the locker room. You know what? Maybe I need to pull this lawsuit because I feel like, we're just reading a synopsis, and sometimes there's a way more going on. Like when you read these lawsuits, you're like, wait a minute, like that lawsuit we read about Klarna last week. It was like, wait a minute, the article is totally different from what this lawsuit is about. So maybe there's some more information if we would actually read and Tracy, I ain't asking you to go pull it, baby, but maybe there's more information in the actual lawsuit to give us more clarity. Like, I want to know what was said on social media. Is this somebody you've had issues with? You know what I mean? Have y'all been going back and forth? I don't know. But if I'm not mad at him, if he was just suing the person that did the damage, great. But you trying to bring the whole Delaware State football team into it. And I'm like, but maybe you just was reckless in 6-7. I don't know. Delaware State. I have not finished watching it, Kim. I watched part of it. I have not finished, but we're going to do our review. Abby just responded. We're going to do our review tomorrow evening. So probably around 8 o'clock-ish. Yeah. Who is calling me? All right. So anyway, the kids done got, yeah. And you know what? You don't realize how many times you say 6-7 until you do not realize how many times you say 6-7, child. Delaware football team might be the only way he might get enough money to pay for the damage. That's true. That's true. That's true, Kim. That's true. And it's pretty amazing. My apologies. I have your email. I got to send it to you. I drafted it. I just wanted to edit some stuff. So I'll send that to you today when I get off of here. My bad. What up, Tawanda Boo? Child, won't the kids tell you? All right, I'm going to get to Funky Dineva. Give me a few more minutes. I'm going to go through a few more stories, and then we'll get to Funky Dineva because, baby, I got some things to say. All right, so we talked about that. We talked about child. We don't care about that. I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to come back to that. T.I. is suing his the record label about his masters. So according to what it says here, it says that T.I. sold his masters. He sold part of his music catalog to Sync Music back in 2017. And I believe he sold $2 million. But the deal included an option for him to buy it back. When he tried to reclaim his masters last year, Cink hit him with a $52 million price tag. The problem is the contract that they both signed says the buyback price should be calculated in a way that comes out to roughly $3 million. And Cink wrote that contract themselves. Exactly. So T.I. is now suing to force them to honor the original deal. So first of all, hey, what's up? What's up, French kids? Hey, so shout out to, listen, I'm all for, I don't have a problem when things are litigious in the right ways. I have a problem when things are litigious on some bullshit. But if you signing a contract that says you're supposed to be able to buy your masters back for $3 million, and now they're trying to hit you with a $52 million price tag, absolutely not. And I say sue T.I., and I hope you get whatever it is that you need to get, boo. Get your money. Get your money. Now, on the other hand, Sherelle Rosado, Ocho Cinco's former fiance, she's being sued by an associate Ebony Stiff. And I believe wasn't Ebony on the show with them? Who remembers the show Selling Tampa? But Ebony Stiff is suing her for $15,000, which was supposed to be her split. They were supposed to split a commission 50-50. And Sherelle did not allegedly, according to this lawsuit, allegedly honor that. Hold on. Let me say this. Let me Google that. Was Ebony Stiff on Selling Tampa? Was she the one that was branching out to start her own brokerage? I really think that show should have had one more season. I think that was some bullshit. That they didn't have more. Hold on, let me see. Was Selling Tampa. Oh no, that's not who I thought it was. No, I don't think that's her. It's 62 pages. Okay, let's talk about it in a minute. Let's talk about it. And thank you, Tracy, y'all. Tracy done went and found a lawsuit, child. But because I got some serious questions. So we'll get to that in a minute. Because we don't have too much more to talk about. We're gonna talk about Porsha, and we're gonna talk about Fucky Dineva. Tupac Shakur's estate is suing Keefe D over the wrongful death lawsuit. Y'all know Keefe D is currently awaiting trial for unaliving Tupac. He has not been convicted, but his estate is suing for wrongful death. Okay. And based on what information has been uncovered, it sounds like they might be able to be successful in a wrongful death. You never know with the way things are going to go, but it sounds like sound like he might be, listen. Now, I don't know if he got any money to give you. I mean, I don't know what you hope to gain. But, okay, y'all said it is her. Wait a minute, let me go back to the picture then. Because that didn't look like her. Well, it didn't look like the person I was thinking about, but it might be somebody else. Hold on. She got a podcast called Never Hold Your Peace. Yeah. She's a broker. Well, she's suing, honey. She said that Evelyn, Lord. She said Sherelle owe her $15,000. Sherelle, you don't pay that lady that money and go on about your way. And I know, to me, $15,000, I'm not saying it like $15,000 ain't a lot of money, because I don't have it. But you do. Sherelle, you got it. Go get that lady that money and go on about your way. Yeah, we're gonna read the facts of the lawsuit. Yeah, that's what I was gonna do, Tracy. Thank you, because that's what I was gonna do, child. I was just gonna read the fact. Y'all know that's all y'all care about are the factual, the facts. Okay. All right. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay. Now let's talk about this Porsha thing, and then let's get into what I want to say about Funky Dineva. Oh, congratulations to Druski. Druski was just, they said that he'll be hosting the 2026 BET Awards. And let me say something. Let me say something. Y'all already know what Druski brings. Y'all know who he is, and y'all know what that man brings with his comedy. Please check your sensibilities at the door. Because number one, he don't care. And number two, is gonna probably be funny. So just check that at the door. Don't nobody walk in there ready to get in their feelings and be all sensitive. The man is literally trolling MAGA. The man has done whiteface at least 2 times. He don't give a fuck. Let that man show up. Let that man be funny and go about y'all business. Y'all don't halfway care about the BET Awards anyway. So don't show up and get brand new this year, okay? Let that man tell his jokes and go about his way. And I'm pretty sure that Kevin Hart is I'm pretty sure that Kevin Hart is going to be, mentoring him. Y'all know last year him and Kai Cenat were Kevin Hart's guests at the show. So I'm sure he's going to be mentoring him, let that man be what he gonna be. And if he's not your type of humor, then you ain't gotta pick it up. If he's not your kind of humor, then let it go. Well, what I mean by that, Bossy, I know they ain't gonna let him. I don't feel like they're gonna let him get up there in whiteface or whatever. But just know what he's bringing as far as his humor. Just know what he bringing. What up, Don Don? Hey, boo. Don't act brand new with that man. He's probably going to do a lot of pre-recorded stuff just because of the type of comedy he does, where he does do characters. I mean, remember he did the MAGA, he did the church, the pastors, the pastors. He came down with the suit on and the Louboutins and stuff like that. So because he does that type of humor, he's going to probably had some pre-recorded skits, right? So expect the pre-recorded skits. Expect to see Kai Cenat, expect to see Kevin Hart. Yeah, just roll with it, y'all. And if it ain't your kind of humor, just don't watch. Like, just don't. Now, I say that now. So y'all just remind me. Go on to put Tracy, go on to put the timestamp and go on and write it down. Just remind me if I watch it and I start complaining, just say, really, B, you told us. You said if it ain't your kind of humor, don't pick it up. Y'all are allowed to remind me that I'm telling y'all this. Okay? Y'all are allowed to remind me. Okay? All right. He won't be there. He's too busy working on Vivette. Well, I don't even know what Vivette is. That's his clothing line, right? He got time if he wants time. If he wants time, he got time. Right. And they know what they hired. Like, what's up? Thank you for being over on Twitch. Thank you, Quake. Child. I mean, not everything is funny, so I can't promise y'all I won't say nothing. I understand, Kim. I understand. Uh-huh. What up, Chuck? Hey, boo. Hold on a second, y'all. All right, let's talk about Porsha in this interview with Carlos King. Now, y'all know they had to ask her about Faylnn and her husband and that whole situation. And Carlos asked her something along the lines of, does he feel like she owes Faylnn an apology? Like, in light of what she knows now and all of that, does she feel like she owes Faylnn an apology? And her response was basically like, listen, I knew a lot of things. I chose not to speak on it. It wasn't what the perception was. I understood I was going to get beat up. I understood I was going to get crucified for it. But at the end of the day, they were separated, and you could people who separated date, and it's not a big deal. I'm paraphrasing. So hold on. Let me try to find a clip so y'all can hear it without me paraphrasing the clip, child. Is this it? Child, that ain't it. Where's the clip? Hold on. Child, why is Carlos posting these thirst traps on his Instagram? Sir, Carlos King. Y'all, why is Carlos posting these thirst traps? Okay, Carlos. Okay, I see you. Okay, I see you. All right, Carlos. Okay. Okay. Okay, hold on. So Faylnn came down to the internet and told us the following. Faylnn said, I know you fucking lying. See, I was okay with never speaking on this situation again. But as long as 265, that's hoe, for those who don't know, that's hoe, is out here doing interviews, taking accountability, and she put that in air quotes, and acting as Captain Save-A-Hoe with Carlos King, fuck it. Time to blow the dust off these receipts so that everyone can take real accountability and this shit can finally die. So let me say something. Faylnn, you don't need to, girl. Faylnn, you don't need to. You don't need to come down here. Right, that means 265 days a year, right? Well, I said, right, you're right. 305 is hoe. 305 is hoe. Right. My bad, y'all. 305 is hoe. Anyway, I feel like, Faylnn, you don't need to come down here and tell us nothing. You don't need to come down here and tell us nothing. Because, girl, for the people that believe you, they already believe you. For the people that believe Porsha, they already believe Porsha. And at this point, it don't matter because ain't neither one of y'all married to him no more. So does it really matter? Like, girl, go on and be happy with your new husband and your new baby. Like, go on and be over there. At the end of the day, what most of us believe, and I can't speak for y'all, I'm gonna speak for myself. I think most of us believe that Porsha was messing with that man while you were still with that man. Now, whether you were happily with that man, is it 304 or 305? It's 304? Okay, my bad. 304 is a hoe. My bad. I believe, I'm going to speak for myself. I believe that Porsha slid into that man's DMs because she went to your house and she saw what you had and she wanted a piece of it. I believe that you and him were not in a good place in your marriage. And I do not believe that Porsha is the reason. Now, let's be honest. I think that y'all already were not in a good place in y'all's marriage. That's what I believe. I believe that y'all were already not seeing eye to eye, marriage-wise or whatever. But what I also believe is that he was still very much living in that house with her when the two of y'all started sliding together. Because if you go back to Porsha's show, they couldn't even agree on how they met. Good question, Tracy. So she said, really be, I have a serious question. You have Black Girl Vitamins as a tagged product that links back to Walmart. Should I use that or the Black Girl Vitamin link and code? So let me say this. If you have never used my link for Black Girl Vitamins, or you still have an email address that you can use and get your discount using my link, that's the preferred way. However, if you've already used my link, you can only use it one time per email address. So if you've already used my link, then then order through that link. That's tagged. So, yeah. Porsha was laying low and spreading it wide. So that's what I believe. I honestly believe, because when they couldn't even agree on how they met, and then on last week's episode on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Porsha ass sat there and she sat there and talked about the timeline of how long they dated before they got married, and the timeline don't match. That timeline you said on last week's episode does not match what y'all been saying all these years, girl. So either you lied then or you lied now, but somewhere a lie was told. And as the old folks say, a lie don't care who tell it. A lie don't care who tell it. It does. It works for men too. Sure does. The collagen. It sure does. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. Hold on, y'all. I was trying to put the link. That's the link right there. Really, if you go to, but hold on. I'm going to put the link in. Hold on. I copied the wrong thing. That's the discount code, but let me give you guys just the affiliate link where you could just click that. So if you've never used my affiliate link, there's the affiliate link right there. And you can click that link and you can just order straight from there, and it'll give you your discount. Porsha started plotting when she saw Fallon's Instagram. Right, when they said Faylnn was going to be on the show, child. Using lies as alibis. All right. Hold on, y'all.
Listen.
Hold on, y'all. Give me a quick second. Sorry about that. So let me say this about Funky.Diva. And I was gonna play the clip, but that's why I don't even want to play the clip. Funky.Diva did commentary on Meg Thee Stallion. For those who don't know, Meg Thee Stallion has ended her Broadway run early, right? I think her last day was supposed to be May the 10th. Her last day is going to be tomorrow. Obviously, they'll be refunding anybody who bought tickets, so forth and so on. So Funky.Diva did commentary the other night on his show where he spoke on his opinion about Meg Thee Stallion and this decision about her ending her Broadway run early. Now, matter of fact, maybe I'll let y'all hear it because I just feel like, and I know y'all like, really be, why you keep talking about Funky.Diva if you don't really like Funky.Diva? I don't know, because the clips keep coming across my timeline. And he got an opinion, so fuck it, I got one too. Hold on, y'all. Quick second, hold on. All right, here it is, y'all. Here it is. Here it is.
No. And see, here is the thing. Here is why it is very important for younger artists to have a relationship with the old school girls. Here is why it is important for younger artists to have watch TV One's Unsung. I, in no way, shape, or form, am trying to minimize whatever trauma or emotional distress Meg Thee Stallion is going through. But Patti LaBelle and Aretha would never. Mickey Howard would never. Shaka Khan would never. Queen Latifah would never. Very important words Shirley Murdoch said to me when I was in Candy's play that changed my perspective when it comes to an audience forever. It's not even about stopping her money. She got plenty money. She don't need that Moulin Rouge money. More importantly, what it's about, you don't know what them people had to do in order to save money, to buy a ticket, to come see you on the May 15th show. You don't know what they had to do, Meg. You don't know what sacrifices they had to make. You don't know what they had to go without. You don't know what they had to put up with at their job to get a ticket, take time away from their family, board a flight to come to New York, to come see. You don't know. No. You owe the audience everything. You show up to work, baby. You show up to work. You show up to work. You show up to work. I'm sorry, you are not the first woman, nor will you be the last to get cheated on in publicly.
I'm done. That's all I got. But let me say something. And yes, I like Meg Thee Stallion, so my opinion may be a little biased. I'll give y'all that, and that's fine. Y'all can say, really, B, that's biased. You right. You right. Okay, maybe. But let me say something. I got a couple of things to say. First of all, let me start here. What we will never know is what shows people have missed as a result of anything going on in their personal life. You know why we won't know with the old school? Because we didn't have 24-hour social media and people didn't put their business on social media the way we put our business on social media today. So number one, you don't know what Mickey Howard would have done. You don't know what Shaka Khan would have done. We don't know what Queen Latifah would have done. We do not know. We don't fucking know. You know why we don't know? Because most back then, old school, they put their business out there on the street. And I hate to be disrespectful, but I promise you, I'm pretty certain that when Queen Latifah's brother died, I bet you she missed some work. You want to use Shaka Khan as an example. I don't mean no disrespect to Shaka Khan, but Shaka Khan has battled drug addiction the majority of her career. So was she getting high to be able to go on stage when she probably should have been sitting her ass down in rehab somewhere? Hello? That's number one. So for you to compare Meg Thee Stallion to these other artists, we don't fucking know. I'm pretty certain if I were to go through Aretha Franklin's career and find out what canceled shows she's had, I bet you if I were to do the research, because, you know, don't care that deep. But if I were to do the research, I bet you I could connect Aretha Franklin and a husband or a boyfriend or a situation to her canceling a concert. I remember, this was maybe about 10 years ago now. I remember when LL Cool J was supposed to headline it was either Rock the Bells or the Roots or something. One of those summer festivals that they have, and he was supposed to headline it. And literally like 2 days before the show was supposed to start, he canceled, and it was just a family emergency. Come to find out now, again, people had bought tickets to go. People had made travel arrangements, all of the things that we do. Right? All of the things that we put in place when we want to go to a show or go to a concert. And guess what we found out a couple of weeks after the event? People were like, dang, he canceled. That's messed up. What's going on? Come to find out his wife had cancer. And he flew to go be by his wife's side while she battled cancer. So he wasn't supposed to do that either. The second thing, or the third thing, I don't even know what number I'm on at this point. Anybody that goes to live Broadway shows knows that at any point in time, you are subject to see the understudy. It happens. Why is it different? Tell me why it's different. Tell me why it's different. Because here's the reality of the situation. We, when I say we, they, because I'm not making no assumption, but Funky Dineva and other people who have that opinion are making an assumption. And the assumption that we are all making is that Meg Thee Stallion is leaving this show early because of a man. That's the assumption that we're all making. We don't know why the fuck Meg is leaving that show early. This is the same woman that collapsed on stage last week and had to go to the emergency room. It's the same woman that collapsed on stage and had to be rushed mid-show to the emergency room. We honestly don't know why she's leaving the show early. We're assuming it's because of her breakup. We also don't know when she found out that this man was cheating on her. You're assuming we found out when she told us. You're assuming they broke up when she told us. We don't know when the fuck it happened. Have we not learned our lesson with Mary last week? Then the divorce was just being announced, and come to find out them two ain't been together in 2 years. They haven't been together in 2 years. Just because we're just finding out about it, don't make it that doesn't mean that's when it happened. I get the point he's trying to. Here's the thing about Funky Dineva. There are times when I agree with Funky Dineva, right? There are times when I agree with the spirit of what he's saying. Let me be clear. There are times when I agree with the spirit of what he's saying. But we are also talking about the same person. Funky Dineva, you cancel shows whenever the fuck you feel like it. And granted, you might say, well, this is just a reality. I mean, this is just a YouTube show and it's not a big deal and people ain't paying money to come and see me. But you don't know who is relying on you. You cancel shows whenever you fucking feel like, and I'm not even talking about since he's been diagnosed with cancer. I'm talking about before that. Whenever he felt like it. And yes, he has been very honest and open that he deals with depression. So does Meg Thee Stallion. And she's been open and honest about that as well. We don't know, but we're all talking about it, and even said he isn't talking about death or major medical emergencies, cancer. Yes, it's the assumption of the breakup. Right. It's just the assumption. So I hear what you're saying, but what I'm saying is we don't know. All we know is that she canceled the shows. And I understand the assumption. I got it. I understand the assumption, but it pisses me off because every single one of us is 200 of y'all in this room right now. Please hit the like button if you haven't already. But every single one of us have called out of work over some bullshit. Ain't nobody in this chat, and I refuse to believe it. Everybody in this chat have called out of work over some bullshit. Got into a fight with our husband, got into a fight with our wife, got into a fight with our mother, got into a fight with our aunt, got into a fight with our roommate, got into a fight with somebody at work the day before and didn't want to go back to work. And I understand somebody going to say, well, this is different. That's not one day. She's ending the show 2 weeks early. I got it. She's ending the show 2 weeks early. Got it. I understand the point. The points are valid, but I just feel like we keep beating up on this girl. And I remember Fantasia went through this. Remember Fantasia started with The Color Purple. She got overwhelmed with The Color Purple. She had other things going on. She wasn't trained. She wasn't ready. Maybe Meg is realizing, I'm really not ready for this. This is a lot. Everybody think they can do a Broadway show. It ain't for the weak. A Broadway show ain't for the weak, y'all. And it's not the same as going on stage every night and performing to a crowd every night. It's not the same. And maybe it's a combination of all of the above. Maybe it is the boyfriend, the public scrutiny. Are we going to forget how these men, these straight men, these black men have been dragging this woman for the last 3 days over the fact that her boyfriend cheated on her? I mean, at least as far as we know. Like, things happen. We have mentally to take care of ourselves. I'd rather her leave than push herself into an unhealthy situation. Right, because God forbid, she tries to do something to herself because she pushed herself and she didn't want to disappoint the fans and she wanted to disappoint and she didn't want to lose the paycheck and God forbid she hurts herself. Then what's everybody going to say? She should have took some time off. She should have took care of herself. She should have got some help. She should have called somebody. This is no different from regular people taking FMLA, right? Kudos to Kandi because she was going through it on Broadway, and she was. And I give Kandi credit for. I give Kandi all the credit in the world for sticking through it. I absolutely do. I 100% do. And there are people who go out on that stage every night, no matter what they're going through, and they push through. But everybody ain't the same. Kandi is in her 40s. Is Meg, how old is Meg Thee Stallion? In her early 30s, maybe? And let's look at all the things that this woman has been through. Lost her mama, lost her daddy, lost her grandmama, was shot. The whole world turned against, when I say the whole world, y'all know what I mean. The whole world turned against her, blamed her. People still blaming her. People still saying she lying. She lost her best friend who, somebody questioned how much of a friend was Kelsey. Now, did Meg make mistakes? Of course Meg make mistakes. Meg was sleeping with a man that her friend was sleeping with. She wasn't, yeah, absolutely, sure. Yeah, sure. Yeah. But when Kandi announced that she was leaving Todd, everybody stood behind Kandi. Everybody supported Kandi. Everybody went up for Kandi. Have y'all been paying attention to what social media has been doing to Meg since last week? And Stephen A. Smith, who y'all know I don't give a fuck about Stephen A. Smith, he even had the nerve to say, well, she shouldn't have came down here and told it. Why she don't get to tell her story? I may not necessarily agree with people using social media as their therapy session, but hell, people do it all the time. So why she can't tell her story? Why she can't? And again, we're assuming that when she chose to tell us is when she found out. I don't know. It just frustrates me, you guys. And maybe I'm using Funky Dineva as my whipping board. It just frustrates me. I feel like I'm like, why do people hate this woman so much? Why do people hate this woman so much? Because I would be willing to bet. And I don't know this. Let me not say I'd be willing to bet. I would be curious to see. Let me say that. I would be curious to see if he would have had the same commentary if Kandi had done that after she announced her divorce. I would be curious if he would have that same commentary. I like her, but y'all giving her a lot of grace. Well, tell me, hey, Pinky Tiki, tell me why we shouldn't give her grace. I mean, what am I giving her grace about? Do you know how many times I've been to a Broadway show and I had to see the understudy? Like, it happens all the time. Most people on Broadway it's not that big of a deal for them. I mean, is it disappointing for her fans that bought tickets to see her? Yeah, it is. It's very disappointing. Absolutely is disappointing. But I promise you it ain't the end of the world. Taylor Swift break up with a man and she make a whole album talking shit about him. And I don't never remember nobody having no issue with that. And when I say nobody, I'm not talking about the people who are not Taylor Swift fans. I'm just saying we go up for Taylor Swift writing a whole album talking about her ex-boyfriend. Every time she have a breakup, she just she make an album. And she talks shit. And people go up for it. We were just talking yesterday about Lemonade. Lemonade was Beyonce telling us about her business with Jay-Z. And yeah, y'all schooled me that it was some other stuff mixed in, that, you know, women empowerment and stuff. But she told us about the man cheating on her. I don't remember nobody having an issue with that. Kim Kardashian, hello. She should have kept quiet until she finished her job. People are asking for refunds, which affects the other actors' incomes. People were going to get refunds anyway. You can ask for a refund. That's not new. Like, that's not new. Do y'all know how long Moulin Rouge has been on Broadway? Do y'all know how many stars have gone through the doors of Moulin Rouge? Y'all act like Moulin Rouge is going to fold because Meg left. No, it's not. Now, the Meg Thee Stallion fans probably don't want to see somebody else in there. And I got it. I respect that. I understand that. But Moulin Rouge will be okay. I promise. It'll be all right. They're going to still perform every night. And maybe there'll be some empty seats, whereas it was a sold out performance, but Moulin Rouge will be all right. Do y'all know how long Moulin Rouge has been on Broadway? And for the people who want refunds, they will get refunds. Unless you went through some shiesty ass way of getting your ticket, you can get a refund. Ain't nobody gonna stop y'all from getting a refund. And you can cancel your hotel room. And if you got an air flight, you can cancel your flight as long as you got insurance. As long as y'all got insurance on them flights, you can get all of that and get all your money back. Also, Meg wasn't even playing a man. Right, she had more of a cameo, y'all. I don't know. I hear what y'all are saying. Don't get me wrong. I hear the other side of it. I do. But I just feel like when it comes to celebrities, and we all do it. I mean, I tell you all the time, I get paid to come down here and talk about celebrities, so I get it. I get it. But I feel like we put people on these fucking pedestals. And then when they show human emotion and human responses and human shit, then all of a sudden they're wrong for being human. We're going to beat them up for doing the same shit we do. This is a risk that's always taken with stunt casting, which is what they call it when there's a big star used to fill it. I agree. You know, and so I understand people being disappointed, and I even understand why people would connect Meg to the breakup, to her quitting. And that, listen, I don't know. That may absolutely be the reason why. Maybe she just wants to sit in her bed and cry. Maybe she wants to go home, leave New York, go to her house, go to her bed, get under the covers, order a bunch of fucking ice cream and chips and cookies, and watch fucking movies on TV under her couch. I mean, under her covers. Maybe that's what she wants to do for a couple of days. Maybe that's what she wants to do. Bossy said, "Nah, we still going to New York, but we truly not as mad as the people who were never going anyway." You know what? Can you listen? I think that's gonna be my exclamation point on this conversation. Say it again for the people in the back. Bossy said, "No, we had tickets. Me and my people had tickets, and we're gonna get a refund." She said this earlier. I'm not adding to it. She said this earlier in the conversation, and we're gonna get a refund. And no, we still going to New York. And we were disappointed, but she said, but we are not as mad as the people who were never going anyway. Because those are usually the loudest people, the people that are loudest. The people that are loudest are the people that probably was never even fucking going. Because you know there are 5 million things to do in New York City. Child, go on over there and try to get tickets to the Jellicle Ball. By the way, get your tickets to the Jellicle Ball because we're going in August. Okay, we're gonna have a good time. Go on over there and get tickets to the new Debbie Allen Said the Entertainer, Taraji P. Henson. They're gonna probably be a little more expensive, but see if you can get you some last minute matinees. Okay, go on over there to what else is playing? It's 5 million shows on Broadway. Shit. And if you can't find nothing on Broadway, go off Broadway. Go to the off-Broadway show. Or just go see Moulin Rouge anyway. Right, just go see the damn play. Ciao. You know what I'm saying? Now, hold on, y'all. Give me a quick second. I'm going to play my commercial, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to talk about this Delaware State thing. All right. Anyway, that's my 2 cents on that, child. That's my 2 cents on that. All right. Let's go to the subway. Child. Somebody said, what is the Jellicle Ball? The Jellicle Ball is a Broadway show. It is a reinvention of Cats through the ballroom culture. El Teddy, for those who don't know, El Teddy is taking a field trip. He's taking his pupils on a field trip in August, and we are going, and that's one of the activities. If you want to join us, if you're in the New York area or you want to travel to New York, Tracy will probably drop the link in the chat. If she hasn't done so already, she'll probably drop the link in the chat. And I'm buying my ticket today. I don't see where y'all bought y'all tickets, but baby, I'm buying my ticket today because I'm not playing with y'all. I'm gonna give me a good seat. Now I know y'all think I'm bougie and y'all like, oh, she gonna sit in the front. I'm not. I ain't. 50 Cent getting sued for harassment and retaliation about what? All right, now let's read through this. What time is it? Okay. We're going to read, for those who weren't here earlier, Desean Jackson, former NFL player who is now currently the coach of Delaware State. Him and Delaware State, the football team, and everybody being sued. And we had some more questions. So Tracy, y'all know Tracy, the showrunner extraordinaire that she is. Tracy done went and found this damn lawsuit. Now the lawsuit is 62 pages. We're not reading 62 pages of a lawsuit. We are going to read the facts and see if we can glean, any further details as we go through. Tracy says she waiting for her sister. Cheryl got to get her hotel. If y'all don't go and get that hotel locked in, are you and Tawana going to share a room? I told you the hotel where I'm staying. Didn't I give y'all that information? The hotel where I'm staying, Cheryl? And we're gonna be in DC on July Tracy's coming on 17th. July the 18th, we're gonna be in DC. We have an event here in DC. I see a few more people have purchased some tickets, so get your tickets. Get your tickets. We are doing we're doing a show with Deirdre Cummings, the writer of right here, How to Dream. The name of the show that we're going to be doing is called Dare to Dream, where she is going to be talking to us about, as you can see, and everybody's going to get a signed autographed copy of this book right here. You're coming on May. Oh, you're coming on May the 17th. Okay. As you guys can see, this is her book, and there are some workbook pages in here. She's going to go through some of these activities that are in here in her workbook with us. You can see right here, she's going to go through some of these activities with us, okay? We're also going to have a Reiki specialist there. Those who are not familiar with Reiki, try this damn chair. For those who are not familiar with Reiki, she's going to go over what Reiki is and all of those things. And we're going to have a good time. We're going to have food. Tracy, we're going to have some, at the very least, we're going to have some mocktails going. Tracy's going to be there. French Kiss, T. Albany going to be there. Cajun is going to be there. And I don't know. I think Charlotte and Tawanda going to come through. You know, they got, they trying to get the field trip straight. I know what they got going on. But anyway, we got a lot of stuff going on, you guys, and we will be making some announcements in the next couple of weeks about some other stuff. But let's read this article, this lawsuit on that Tracy. Where did I just put it? Oh, there it is. All right, so let me scroll down here. So the complaint, I'm gonna just read a little bit about the plaintiffs. Malachi Briggs is a resident of the state of North Carolina. I wonder where he's from in North Carolina. Where your people from? North Carolina. At the time of the incident, he was enrolled. He was a full-time student. What is wrong with this thing? I got to get it. Don't say nothing, y'all. Don't say nothing. I know I got to get a mouse. Okay. He was a full-time student at Delaware State University as a member of the football team, and he resided in dormitory housing located on the campus. He's named Delaware State as a defendant. He's named the president of Delaware State as a defendant. Damn, not the president. Desean Jackson, the football coach. Oh shoot. Child, he got a whole lot of defendants here. Hold on. Travis Clark. Who is the assistant head coach. Defendant Jane Hicks. She was the director of football operations at the time of the incident. Anthony Herbert, who is the defendant, who's the person that actually assaulted him, allegedly. He was enrolled as a full-time student at Delaware State, a member of the football team as well. He played safety and or defensive back. Okay. And he's now on the coaching staff of Delaware State. Now, that's interesting. He's graduated. But he could have. When did the boy graduate? I mean, this just happened back in November. But they say, upon information and belief, after graduating from Delaware State in 2026, the defendant has since been employed as a member of the coaching staff and or when did he graduate? Because you got fall graduations and spring graduations. He either graduated in December, he's going to graduate in May. You said that he's already graduated and employed. When does the Delaware State have their graduations? Child, when is Delaware State? Okay then. Let me keep reading, child. That's interesting. That's because I don't understand how that timeline don't even add up. But okay then. Okay. Let's just read the statement of facts. Hold on. All right, so here go the statement of facts. On or about November the 19th of 2025, the plaintiff was lawfully on the premises of the subject's property through his capacity as a full-time student athlete and member of Delaware State's football team. Prior to 6:30 a.m. football practice, plaintiff arrived early to receive treatment in the treatment room. Once the plaintiff's treatment finished, the plaintiff went to the locker room to prepare for practice. Upon information and belief, the defendant Herbert and at least two other members of the football team were either already present in the locker room when the plaintiff entered or were present very shortly after the plaintiff entered the locker room. While in the locker room, defendant Herbert approached another team member and confronted him about a post on Instagram. So it was Instagram, child. Defendant Herbert grabbed the team member and began choking him in response to the post on Instagram. So there was something on Instagram. Herbert grabbed the other team member and began choking him. Herbert, you like to choke people, sir. Now, Herbert. So then it says, defendant Herbert then approached the plaintiff and confronted the plaintiff about the post on Instagram. I told you. The defendant Herbert grabbed the plaintiff and placed him in a chokehold. Specifically, upon information and belief, defendant Herbert was angry that the plaintiff and the other player that he assaulted referred to him in the post on Instagram as Buddy. Now, Herbert, I was kind of defending you, sir, but that's what you was mad about? That they was calling you Buddy? On Instagram? Now, again, this is Malachi's version of the story. I don't know. He said that Herbert was angry that the plaintiff and the other player he assaulted had referred to him in the post on Instagram as Buddy. Defendant Herbert told the plaintiff, tap out. And he would stop choking him. So he had him in a chokehold. He was telling him tap out. He was telling him to tap out. Defendant Herbert proceeded to ignore the plaintiff's numerous attempts to tap out or free himself, eventually rendering the plaintiff unconscious and dropping him to the ground, head or face first. I told y'all that's what happened. This is exactly what I thought had happened. As a result of falling to the ground in an unconscious state, the plaintiff suffered severe and permanent injuries to his head, face, mouth, tongue, and teeth, including but not limited to multiple fractures to his jaw, a deep laceration to his chin requiring surgery, and an irreparable damage to at least a dozen teeth, requiring extraction, root canals, and additional invasive dental treatments. After the plaintiff regained consciousness, he immediately went to the training room across the street from the locker room to seek help. Ain't nobody called for help. They just let you lay there. They just let you lay there. Nobody call. I'd be suing all their asses. Ain't nobody called to get you no help. You had to get up and walk yourself across the street. He said after he regained consciousness, he went to the training room across the street. What? The football team's trainer assisted the plaintiff and called an ambulance. Okay, so somebody finally called a fucking ambulance. Plaintiff was transported to the emergency room at Kent General Hospital via ambulance, where he was admitted and diagnosed with, among other things, multiple severe fractures and a deep laceration to his chin. You deserve to get some money. This is crazy. Now, I still don't think that the whole school is involved, but you better sue Mr. Headlock. Plaintiff was discharged from the hospital the following day with instructions to follow up with OMFS surgeon at Christiana Hospital, which he and his family did. The surgeon recommended surgery to address the plaintiff's severe and extensive injuries. Rather than undergoing surgery in Delaware, the plaintiff returned home to North Carolina, where he would seek medical treatment through the University of North Carolina Medical Center and recover from his significant injuries at home with the help of his parents and other family members. Once home, the plaintiff sought treatment from another specialist for the dental surgery, and The dentist diagnosed the plaintiff with serious injuries, including a mandible syphilis fracture. Okay. Fractures to the right and left mandible and 9 broken rear teeth. Damn. Plaintiff also severed a ligament under his tongue and required the placement of a metal plate in his chin. Oh, yeah, that's bad. On December 1st of 2021, the plaintiff underwent the first of several surgeries to address the fracture to his jaw, which included immobilization of his jaw. Okay, plaintiff has remained out of school since the date of the assault as he continues to recover and attend multiple medical visits and begins to undergo a series of dental and oral surgeries. His most recent surgery occurred Friday, April the 10th. Upon information and belief, defendant Herbert was never disciplined academically, athletically, or otherwise. Defendant Jackson, defendant Clark, or defendant Hicks for the assault of either player. In fact, defendant Herbert was permitted to play football just 3 days after the assaults occurred. At some point following the subject's assault, defendant Jackson, defendant Clark, and or defendant Hicks were working individually or collectively, intentionally removed and or directed to be removed defendant Herbert's biography from the website and intentionally changed and or directed to be changed defendant Herbert's class year. Oh, damn. So they took you off the stuff you wasn't on the, okay. The assault on plaintiff resulted in severe personal injuries to the, wait a minute. Okay. The assault on plaintiffs result in severe personal injuries to the plaintiff, including, but not limited. Okay, I just read that. Defendant Herbert sent a text message to plaintiff acknowledging he assaulted the plaintiff later in the day in which it had occurred after a team meeting during which coaching staff, including defendant Jackson, defendant Clark, addressed the assault that had occurred that morning. Upon information and belief after graduating from Delaware State, defendant Herbert has since been employed as a member of the coaching staff and or graduate assistant for the defendant's football team. I still don't understand that timeline, but it ain't my business. Now, this is what I'm going to say. Oh, thank you, Markel. Feels good to be a member. Now, I'm going to say this. I still feel like blaming the whole school is an overreach. However, I can understand why you would say all of them were a part of it after the fact. See, here's where, and again, I don't know, but I'm going to amend my earlier statement. First of all, if all of this was over them calling you buddy, you need some help, buddy. Second of all, the fact that this happened and somebody just let you lay in the damn floor unconscious, clearly they had to be blood. Clearly it had to be an ugly, ugly incident. The fact that nobody called for help, nobody went to go get help, that is a serious concern. The fact that they had a team meeting and this player was never disciplined in any way, shape, or form and is now employed by the school. Yeah, sue their ass. Sue their ass. Sue all their asses. Sue them. Sue them. Sue their ass. See how when you get new information, you can adjust your thoughts. Sue all they asses. Now, this is one side of the story. This is one side of the story. We still don't know what the school is going to say. However, some things are just going to be facts. He's going to have medical documentation of all of these alleged infractions. He's going to have the documentation of all of this medical, going to the doctor and all of these surgeries. That's a fact. The fact that you went to the trainer and they had to call the ambulance and you were transported to the emergency room, those are all things that can be substantiated, and proven. Right? The fact that you texted him and acknowledged that you assaulted him, well, there's that. The fact that there was never nothing done disciplinary wise to you, you continue to play on the team and you are now employed by the school. Listen, how much he's suing for? Hold on, let me see how much he's suing for. Let me go back to this lawsuit real quick. Let me see if I think it's enough, because I might have to tell you to add to it. Hold on, let's see how much he's suing for. Let me scroll all the way to the bottom, because again, we're not reading 60 pages. Let's scroll all the way to the bottom, child. All right, child. What is he saying for 62? Okay. He just explaining. Yeah, he about to get y'all. Y'all better settle with this man. Y'all better settle. Let's see what he's suing for, though. Child, hold on. We trying to get to the bottom of this. You might not be suing for enough. And he ain't been back to school? Bruh. Okay, let's scroll up. Hold on. I went too far down. Hold on. Went too far. Okay. What you asking for? What you asking for? Sure. Hold on, y'all. I'm not reading the chat. If y'all got it in the chat, give me a second. Okay, he's suing for compensatory damages, medical bills, general and specific damages, including pain and suffering, past and future lost wages, loss of earnings and earning capacity, punitive damages, pre and post judgment interest in accordance with the state. I don't see no dollar sign. Hold on, let me look at the chat. Maybe y'all see a dollar sign. Hold on. I don't know. But whatever you asking for, you should get it. That's crazy. Morgan and Morgan is his lawsuit. Now, ain't Morgan and Morgan the people that be on them billboards? I think I've seen billboards of Morgan and Morgan. And I'm not saying that don't mean they're good lawyers. I'm just, because you got to advertise. I'm just saying I feel like I've seen them. I'm sure he sold for a couple of $1 million, child. I don't see the actual amount right here. I'm sure it's in here somewhere. They got to put it. Well, I'm gonna say they have to. I feel like they got to put a dollar amount though. But I'm sure it's a couple of $1 million. What up, Danny? Hey, boo. Right. I mean, they really left that. That's the part I'm thinking about too. They left that man laying in the like unconscious in his own blood. Like, you ain't got no friends on that team, bro. Like, it sounded to me like you ain't make no. Even that, or they were so afraid of what would happen. But that's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy, y'all. With that being said, y'all, listen. If you haven't done so already, please hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you are still subscribed to the channel. Make sure your notifications are on, because, baby, listen, life be lifing over here, okay? And YouTube be playing them kind of games. They don't send out the notifications, all of the things, okay? So make sure y'all are doing all of the things. Y'all know we're on the road to 20K. We were doing really well. We picked up like 100 subscribers, and then we just kind of got stagnant again. So y'all know what that means. We got to get back on our grind. And when I say we, I mean me, you know. Get on the ship. We got 2 cruises. Okay? We have the Tri-Bowl 2.0 in February of 2027, and then we're going to Alaska in August of 2027. Get on one of these cruises. If you want more information, hit me up. Look at my boo. Mwah. Hey, Chasing Reality. What's up? Well, I ain't gonna say what I think. Never mind. Chasing Reality. Whoever that is, I think I know who it is, but whoever it is, I want to go to California for the reunion. You coming to Alaska? Well, get on the ship. Get on the ship. Get on the ship. But I want to come to California for the reunion, so let me know. Hit me up. Keep me posted. They need to be annual cruise events. What? The Tri-Bowl? They trying to make Tri-Bowl 2.0. So hit me up. If y'all are interested in going to Alaska or going on the Tri-Bowl, I can get you guys the information. No, because you don't come and see the Atlanta premiere. Don't do that. I could not. Listen. That was like literally the week before my cruise or something. Like, wasn't it right around my cruise? And it was in the middle of the week. Y'all forget, I don't live in Atlanta. But you know I love you. All right. With that being said, y'all, let me get out of here. I will talk to y'all later. Mwah. Peace.